Hello there, and we are going to be doing what if Deku had Haku's powers. Part 1. Now, roll the intro.
Stay in the cut on the north side. Hollow points, trigger fingers on my fucking phone. 5 demons rising out the grip. I smoke the effect. I never gave a fuck. Grew up by the mud. Pull up, then I pop the trunk. Grew up with the fucking robbers. Always kept the mask on. Motherfuckers gon' die if we keep the mask off. Suicide when I ride. Bitch, scarecrow to walk the shadow. Mozart with no piano. Kill when I'm sleepy hollow. That mystic mother.
Okay, now sorry if this video is a bit dull. I'm kinda still working on this. Soon I'll put something that you guys could watch while I'm explaining the wolf. But for now it's just gonna be a photo. So I don't know, grab your other device and start using it. Okay, anyway, but moving on to the what if. Now Deku wouldn't necessarily be like through a Genkai trait. I could do that since there's all of this stuff about his dad, but then I don't really want to mess with it. So let's just say he goes to the doctors and he doesn't get, and he still has the little toe thing with an extra joint and presumably quirkless. When all of a sudden Deku uses quirks, it's just a few ice needles, so it's ice. Now the doctor was shocked at this, proving that and he thought that children could have quirks even if they have the second joint. Sorry if this is professional, but continuing. Now Deku gets here on the same day as Bakugo, and Bakugo explodes his explosions. People are Deku's quirk is, and he says ice. As Deku creates 2 ice sword dagger things. Now this surprises the class, and they're like, whoa, can I touch it? But Deku said, no, they're mine. And Deku said, come on, you can just make more. They said, come on, you can just make more, please. So Deku lets them touch it, and after they realize that it's actually sharp, the teacher tells Deku to stop using his quirk, and that's enough. Since the teacher knows that Deku's quirk will cut someone. Now Bakugo and Deku kinda aren't the same. Deku won't automatically have that douchebag personality, still caring and everything, but he's friends with Bakugo. Bakugo respects Deku and knows not to mess with Deku, since Deku has a strong quirk. And Deku develops certain abilities, and instead of actually using the sharp ones, you know how Haku uses the things that she puts inside her, in between her fingers off the furs? He uses that, but except in ice form. Now, instead of making them sharp, at the top, he makes them have a curved thing, so if it hits, it will just curve off. Now, this still trains him in manipulating his quirk and also developing technique. And we're moving on to the start of the anime. Now, 2 people are going to UA. Want to go to UA at least. And that's Bakugo and Deku. Now, no one laughs at this. In fact, the teacher says this to be expected with a loud sigh. And everyone just starts shouting how how they're gonna be pro heroes. And really, none of them really have the quirks. And if you look in the anime, one of them has a quirk that has a giant mouth. The other one is a quirk that extends his neck. Maybe his body parts, that would be useful. But all we saw is his neck, so I'm not going to say anything about that. Now, Deku takes the shortcut home and gets attacked by the sludge villain. But, for some reason, out of pure instinct, he dodges the sludge villain, and the sludge villain tries to rush him again, and Deku creates an ice wall. Now, this ice wall ends up being extra cold as the sludge villain touches it and ends up freezing. Well, meanwhile, he freezes himself and All Might arrives. All Might is ready to start running again, when meanwhile he sees that the kid's already dealt with it. No, he sees that it's ice and after he thinks, it's quite normal. Meanwhile, Deku is freaking out. Like, he just met the number one hero, his idol. His day has been great today. Meanwhile, Deku just was asking so many questions to All Might. Then after his head filled out with steam, and his head just blew up. I think this because of how nervous he was. Because after that, when he woke up, he said, "Sorry for passing out on you," and really just started apologizing a lot. Now Deku, oh my gosh, Deku, he grabs onto All Might's leg, since he grabs onto All Might's leg and he sees that he's about to jump away, and this does everything. Now Deku's question that he wanted to ask was a serious one, actually. Now, Deku knew that he could become a hero with his quirk, but here's the downside. For him, things go slower, but I'm only adding this on because Haku's powers are too OP for this. Now, it may be as in ice, but it slows things down for him, and therefore, when he sees someone's about to attack him, if he starts running, his body hurts. He needs to get faster and more muscular. Maybe a boosting power or something. You probably know where I'm heading here. All Might says that you can, and that you could train your muscles. Maybe in your legs and leave your upper half, but maybe you could train your whole body. It's really no problem. Now, Deku thinks good about this since it really did drag him down. I mean, he could be in the middle of a fight and they're moving in slow motion. Little does he know, when he turns around, and that they already hit him. This confuses him. And he doesn't even know that it's his eyes. Since that is still a part of Haku's powers. Now moving on, the sludge fight happens, and this time, Deku decides to make the sludge touch him slightly, freezing the sludge villain and letting Bakugo blast himself free. Deku asks, "Are you alright?" and Bakugo replies with, "Yes. Thanks for the help, man." Now, All Might catches up with Deku and asks him to be the successor of One for All. All Might didn't have a need to break his time limit since he dealt with the villain, and he showed that he just thought without thinking. I mean, what I said made no sense, but he just ran, thought without thinking. All of those at the same time. Now, entrance exam happens. No Uraraka gets trapped, and everything is basically the same except no Uraraka gets trapped. She doesn't get trapped by this because basically she puts herself on gravity as she floats up. So no Uraraka getting trapped and all of that. Deku does not fall, and even if he did fall, he just has ice. So yeah, that's that. Now Deku makes it into Class 1A, and he sees everyone. He mainly goes to Bakugo and asks him what's up. Bakugo says everything's fine, just relaxing. As Aizawa comes in and says, "Put on your sports uniform. There's no time for buddy buddy, and we're not going to the assembly. We're going to do a test, and the one that comes last is expelled." Okay, this is the end of the video. Bye.